Hello, sports movie fans, and welcome to Locker Room Fix Podcast. I'm your host, Frank Sullivan, and with me is my co-host, Frank Darling. Frank, happy Father's Day. How are you this morning?
Good. And happy Father's Day to you. Now, this is your, I forget, this is your...
Second
Father's Day. Okay. Right,
yes, it is.
Father's Day. Yeah.
It's my my new favorite holiday now because I get to be spoiled and you forget. It's like my birthday's on Valentine's Day, so I don't really.
Yeah.
Right. I feel obligated, which I always do stuff for her.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That makes sense.
It's a nice holiday. I can just kick back, and I got what she got me. She bought me like a barbecue set. I told she got to return it, so she bought me the they call them like bear claws.
Okay.
And that you use them to do like pulled pork.
Oh, nice.
So you kind of do it instead of like rip. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah! Wow. So especially made for doing pulled pork.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You could do pork shoulder or butt, or you could do chicken or whatever.
Oh wow.
And then she got me this other set where it's like she got to return it though because it gives you like a little metal basket that you put inside the grill.
Okay.
And you can put like chips of like wood chips in there to smoke stuff on the gas grill.
Oh, got it. Yep.
But the problem is the grill I have already has it actually built in already, so it's.
Oh, okay. So
it's right. I was like, yeah, you can go ahead and return it.
It's not needed. I get what you're saying.
Plus I have a smoker, so.
Wow.
But what are you up to today? What are you up to for Father's Day? Just kind of hanging?
Yeah, just hanging. That's about it. I was just preparing some food. I like to prepare food for like the week, so I'll make it ahead of time. So that's what I was just doing out there. So I got some other things I want to make. It makes it a lot easier for me when I go to work. So I have it all set to go. I just take it with me and I go heat it up.
Listen, I do the same thing. Saturday, it's usually Sunday mornings when I do all my meal prep. I make little sandwiches for breakfast in the morning. Yeah. And then I usually make a lunch.
Yeah.
So that way I just grab and go and I do some sort of meal prep.
I have time. I have plenty of time to make stuff. I'll make lunch sometimes. If I want to make a sandwich, but most of the time, if I want, I don't feel like cooking nothing, so I'll get it all heated. So cook. So when I get there, just throw it in the microwave, throw it on something, and eat it. That's all. That works.
Yeah.
It's not not that big of a deal, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it was nice seeing you in person.
Yes, I know.
What was that about?
It was nice.
7 days ago, 6 days ago.
Seems like
It's nice seeing Stella. She's growing up, walking around.
She is.
She got very, what do you call it? She settled in there pretty quick.
Yeah,
she stood there for like 10 minutes, and then she said, "You know what? I'm going to start moving."
So we went to Brewport yesterday. It's a brewery in Bridgeport, and they also have pizza there too.
Right.
Which is the pizza is very good there. Went for a 1-year-old birthday party.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
oh.
But they have a little area where they rent it out, and so it was kind of separate. They had a few things for the kids and stuff like that, activities. But you should have seen it, man. She was walking all around. There was like 3 other little girls there, and she was like the youngest.
Yeah,
and they were all just kind of like. They were like herding her, they were walking next to her, around her, making sure she wouldn't go all off. And we met another Stella yesterday, which was funny.
Really?
Yeah, she was like, I don't know, 4 or something like that.
Oh, wow. That's good. That's good for her.
We did
That's good to get used to being with the other kids, different ages,
she
older.
She slept last night. We were trying to get her used to her crib, so that was a whole other ordeal where we slept pretty much almost all through the night last night.
Beautiful.
So it was good.
You got to do it eventually. So it's good.
Yeah, we do again. We do it little by little. You kind of small changes, and eventually, next thing you know, she'll be sleeping by herself.
Oh yeah, with her Yui there, Bluey. I'm sorry, Bluey.
Bluey, yeah. We today actually we're going to Mohegan Sun. They're doing a barbecue fest.
Oh, nice.
So they got a bunch of smokers and stuff out there.
Oh, beautiful. That's good.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. So that we're probably going to leave around 11 or so.
Oh,
so
excellent.
We'll do that. Yeah.
Excellent. That's excellent.
But anyways, it's again we're getting close to the summer.
Yes, we are.
We're gonna change up and do I call it the summer series.
Yes.
So we're gonna do 5. We're gonna do 5 summer movies.
Yep.
I'm gonna put a post up of the movies and let everybody know which movies we're doing.
Yeah, I think
so
it'll be good.
in.
It'll be a good switch, little change.
Yes, no, I agree. I'm excited. But before we get to that, we're gonna do two. I don't want to say call them Olympic movies, but movies about the Olympics, kind of. Right. To get because I know the Olympics are coming. When are the Olympics?
They actually start in July. Yeah.
July. Okay.
July. I don't know. I don't think it's the 1st of July. It's like the second week or something like that.
Gotcha. But they're coming up.
It's in Paris. So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
We were last year.
It's there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You want to break down the movie? This was our first documentary.
This is different. So you got to understand
Yes.
it's a different kind of movie. It's a documentary.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
But here it is. You ready? All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is episode 91, just for that, if somebody wants to know. It's the introduction to the movie is I Am Bolt. Its release date was November 28, 2016. It did have a box office of 41,535. I don't know what that is, but it wasn't in the movies. I think it was
I think I saw it said they released it to a few theaters in the United Kingdom.
Oh, okay, very good.
So it wasn't out. Yeah,
right, which makes sense. Yeah, directed by Benjamin Turner and Gabe Turner.
Yep.
Now, I'm go through a few people here that are in it. It's because you might remember most of these are celebrities or athletes, but we'll just go through a few of them. Okay, Usain Bolt, of course, as himself. Nugent Walker Jr., Pele, Neymar, Serena Williams, Ricky Sims, which is his manager, Asafa Powell, Sebastian Coe, Ziggy Marley, which is Bob Marley's son. Johan Blake, another sprinter. Maurice Blake, another sprinter. Glenn Mills. I forgot who he was exactly. Might have been a sprinter. Chronix, which is and Michael Johnson, Olympic star. So, but we'll go through it more when we get through it. Sorry about that, folks. The simple synopsis: it is based on the life of Jamaican sprinter and 3-time Olympic gold medalist and world record holder for the 100-meter, 200-meter, 4x100-meter relay, Usain Bolt, the fastest man in recorded human history. It did get 2 nominations and 1 win. The runtime was in 1 hour and 42 minutes, and I watched it on Amazon Prime. I don't know where you watched it. Did you?
That's where I watched it too. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a free movie.
Okay, so here we go. Now, this is a little tricky for you because I know there's not much there, so we'll see what you can do with it. 5 fun facts. So if you don't have 5, that's fine, but we'll get to other stuff if you can.
I kind of just got facts about just kind of him.
Yes, which that's good. That's
again, really good. They were hard to find. So fact number 1: Usain Bolt's famous 2D world pose was introduced first during the Beijing Olympics in 2008. It was an instant hit around the world. The pose is called bolting. And then it says, and he says he does it after every win on the racetrack. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah,
his famous thing, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Which he's got a cool. That's his real last name, right? Bolt.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because he said
isn't it?
He's like a lightning bolt, fast as a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Fact number 2: in the 2008 Beijing Olympics, Usain Bolt won the 100-meter final with a record-breaking time of 9.69 seconds. He did this while his shoelace was untied during running, which is kind of wild.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
It says, if not for all that, this I guess they did studies made by the University of Oslo. Bolt would have finished 9.6 seconds, so it wasn't too much. So it basically really didn't really slow him down that much.
No, it did not. No,
which is wild.
It is wild, yeah.
Fact number 3: cricket was Bolt's first choice of sport.
Oh, that's
he was
interesting.
a fast bowler. Are there any movies about cricket? I would assume, huh?
There might be. If you dig for it, I'm sure there is. Yeah. Yeah.
Again, it's be foreign to us, but over there, it's,
Yeah, they play in India, they play in Britain, they play in all those countries, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a fast bowler. I would assume that's kind of like a pitcher.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know. It was bowling that his coach noticed his talents for athletics. Bolt really loved sports and being a part of it. So when cricket was recommended for him, when his cricket coach recommended the switch to athletics, he was happy to go on to do track racing. So
right.
I guess it was his coach.
Yep.
Fact number 4: Usain Bolt has been breaking records throughout his running career. He is the first athlete to have won both the 100-meter race and the 200-meter race simultaneously. Although the first athlete to win 6 gold medals in sprinting, Bolt was a very successful 200-meter runner while winning several titles to his name. So that's just to give you an idea of he's dominated pretty much the sport.
He was a specimen, yes. Yeah.
Yes. Let's see here. For my last fact is a little bit of a small little fact. So I guess the secret behind winning the 2008 Beijing Olympics was chicken nuggets and yams. That's what I guess he has chicken nuggets before every race.
So I've been eating the wrong thing.
I guess so, huh? I mean, chicken nuggets aren't really that bad to eat. I mean, yeah, it's fried, but I mean, it's also white chicken breast.
That's funny, though, isn't it? Well, it's a lot. Remember, too, with these guys, it's a lot of superstition too. So they do different things. So
that's what a lot. I'm sorry.
Those are very good. Those facts. That's good. You dug some of those up. I didn't see any.
Yeah,
I knew a couple of them, but and sorry, go back to Glenn Mills. I don't know if he's still alive, but I'm sure he is. Glenn Mills was. I'm sorry. It was the biggest part. He was his trainer, so I skipped that one a little bit. Yeah, that was the heavyset guy.
Yes.
Yeah. But we'll get back to that. But now, I'll be honest with you. When I first started watching it, I knew it was a documentary. And I have to admit, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Because I thought, number one, I didn't know he was 6'5", 205.
I had to look that up.
He's a monster.
It's funny. I knew, when they showed him, I knew he was tall.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize how tall he was.
And he's not built like other sprinters. He's a big man. He's very tall. Most of the sprinters are 6'8".
He said 200 pounds, something like that?
205, yeah. 205 pounds, yeah. Watching that and all the trials and tribulations he goes through, the injuries, we don't see that part of it. How many times he was hurt and
no, we just see how he. Well, also I don't know. I mean, we're not really from Jamaica either, so we don't. It's not like we're following his career.
No, exactly.
We just see him show up to the Olympics, win, and
yes, he shows up.
We don't see that behind the scenes.
No, they did show a little bit about high school and grammar school. Linda was saying to my wife, she was saying she wished she saw a little bit more of that. But
I agree.
Don't think, but I don't know if the documentary had that video back then. Who knows? I mean, of them ages, but
I mean, it wasn't that. I mean, I was looking it up. He's like 38, so he's not that old. He's like a couple of years older than me.
Right. So that's what's that? 8 years ago. So he was like 26 when he decided. No, like 30 when he decided to do this documentary.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was right at the end of his career. So
yeah, that makes sense.
He did play soccer too.
I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah.
Yeah. He played afterwards. I guess he played a little bit after. He's a pretty good soccer player actually. But so that was something else he did. And I guess you heard in the documentary that when he was in high school, he used to get beat. So who was outrunning him there?
I don't know.
Or grammar school.
We've talked about how it takes a lot of luck and.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a lot of luck to be an athlete. Again, you have one injury and you blow your knee out, and that's it.
Yeah. Yep. Now the people themselves, Nugent Walker Jr. I think that was his best friend. Mm-hmm. That was the guy that was with him all the time, and I guess right till the end. I mean, he was.
You got to have your people, right?
Yeah, you don't think about
your entourage.
Entourage, right? And he's the positive one, always thinking positive. So he keeps it up with the gives him confidence in racing all those races.
You got to think too. Like I said again, I know you have all these teams. You don't want to say he's like, hey, he's just a friend. He's like because you know he's you don't want to think he's taking advantage of them. But
exactly.
I mean, I say entourage is these people have their people, and each person fulfills a role. You know,
right? And they trust them.
Correct, and they probably wouldn't be there
people.
if not for that person.
Exactly, I agree totally with it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now they do show some things. They show his mom and dad in it, which was nice. Little snippets.
Yep.
So that was pretty
funny.
Good, and he was very humble. He was very humble.
He seemed very humble. Yeah, humble. He seemed like a nice guy.
That's what I liked about it. But the preparation for these races, it's mind-boggling. I mean,
and you think he had the one injury where he just kind of like what was he just tripped and something? Maybe he kind of messed up his ankle a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's got 4 years to train for the next Olympics. but again, you don't like. Oh, it's fine if he takes a month off. Big deal. But I mean,
I know. I agree with you totally. Yeah.
It's a lot of training, and I am sure they found other things to do for him to train. You know, they had him in the pool and.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, he could. Did you see the training scenarios he did? It was mind-boggling. The weight training, pulling the skid there, swimming, things you wouldn't even. I don't know. I didn't know any of that stuff. I didn't know the sled thing I've seen, but I didn't realize how much they put into it to be who they are, which is insane. I mean, I never knew that.
I thought it was cool. One of the spots where he's on the track outside by himself, and I thought it was really cool how you can hear his feet just hear like how fast he was. I just thought it reminded me of Stella running because you hear just the feet.
Yeah, just their feet. Here they come.
Yeah.
And how about all the marks on his legs from the cleats hitting? I didn't think of that. His legs are moving so quick that the foot comes all the way up, and it's catching his leg. I said, "What has he got marked? Why has he got Band-Aids on his legs for it?" And that's what it was. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Did you? I don't know. I looked a little bit into his like bio and stuff. And did you know that I think it mentioned it in the thing. It said that he suffered. He suffered from scoliosis.
Yes. Did you see that?
And yeah, it says a curvature of the spine that made his right leg a half inch shorter than his left leg. It says this condition causes an uneven stride. So with his left leg remaining on the ground for longer than his right. And it also said biomechanics researchers have studied that there's no firm conclusion on whether it either helps or hurts him.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Right, yeah. Even though he has the condition.
They analyzed it, and it doesn't help or doesn't hurt. A half inch is a big difference.
Yeah, that's a big difference, yeah.
You don't think it, but that's a big difference.
Yeah. And you see where he went to get fixed? Germany. To that guy. I'm sure that guy's one of the best in the world. So,
absolutely.
I'm sure he was. I mean, he didn't go down to the urgent care.
No.
No. I don't know if you saw this in there. It's I don't know where I got it from. It's in something. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this was about he was saying, I did not like how this was edited. While it did give you some behind-the-scenes look at Bolt's training, party and hotel room activities did not truly showcase how amazing, this is somebody else, but whatever, his track career actually was. There was plenty of interviews where people talked about it, but it would have been more effective to illustrate how his victories were better than other famous athletes like Carl Lewis and Michael Johnson, etc., or compare his world record times to previous records. There was too much dilly-dallying with unimportant material. Some is interesting, too much is boring. And I did admit, the party stuff and all that.
It was boring at times, yeah.
Yeah, the party stuff, I don't need to see that stuff. I mean,
I
don't mind the fans and stuff. That's another story, but, yeah.
Yeah, I think they wanted to show a little more about, like, Jamaica and their culture.
Yeah, I agree.
And a little more behind the man.
Yes, I agree.
It's amazing with the editing, and especially with a lot of these documentaries, sometimes they ask, people, when they ask people to be a part of the documentary, that sometimes they're kind of blindsided with questions and
you're right.
And editing.
You're exactly right.
kind of is somewhat of an example that they had the. To tell you the dark side of kids. I don't know, the documentary about Nickelodeon. I don't know if you've seen it or whatever.
No, I never saw it. No.
You know the guy Mark Summers? He was a game show host.
Yes.
For Nickelodeon, did Double Dare and stuff.
Yeah, I know who this. Yeah.
They asked him to be a part of this documentary.
Right.
And you know he went in going and thinking about they were going to ask him with this. And they kind of blindsided him with a few other questions, and he answered like one or two questions, and that was really it. And he just left. And he's like, "I'm not being a part of this." No, well, because it's all about they had people on employed that were like pedophile. They were like,
oh, okay.
So he was like, "I'm not being a part of this," and he just. But it's just that's right. Again, you don't know what these. And then again with editing, you got to be careful what you say.
You're right. That's for sure. You got to be right. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the scene where he's at the track and he doesn't race until like 7. He just I think it's like a preliminary. 7 at night he ends up 7 at night he ends up running, and his hamstrings giving him a hard time. If you notice, the dialogue is off at that scene. Because I can imagine what he was saying to them. He was pissed, so they must have shut it off. So I'm sure it wasn't a nice conversation.
Oh, I can imagine.
But yeah, and I understand that. He works really hard, and he had to wait till 7 o'clock. I mean, this guy's on top of the world. He should have the best time, no doubt about it.
I know.
The best time to do that. But that was an interesting part. This is a lot of hard work. So
I saw it said that Bolt claimed 19 Guinness World Records, and after Michael Phelps holds the second highest number of world records to his accomplishments and victories, so that's pretty crazy.
It is, and he does hold the record for the 100-meter sprint of 9.58 seconds. He's held it. Hey, he's held it for 10 years. I know there's only 2 Olympics in between that, but still 10 years, which is mind-boggling. Really, nobody.
It's hard to say, but I think the Olympics doesn't get its quite due in America.
No, I don't.
As it does in any other country.
I agree totally.
Because it doesn't. I don't know what it is with the U.S. It seems like it's kind of the Olympics kind of seem like an afterthought.
I know. I agree totally with you. I agree totally. Yeah. It's a shame. Well, you look at the European. Let's face it. Soccer's first. It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the Olympics, I think.
No,
they really don't do nothing else. I mean, really.
No, you're right. I mean, there's football leagues.
Yeah.
Cricket, cricket is pretty popular out there. But you're right. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
But I think it was different back when, let's say you were growing up, right?
I agree totally. Yes.
These were like considered the greatest athletes in the world.
Oh yeah.
And today, again, now they still are. However, they just don't get the credit, I guess.
I agree totally with you. Yeah.
I mean,
remember back then we had 11 stations, and when the Olympics was on, it was on Channel 8. So that's what you watched. And yeah. So you're right. That's a good point. You're right.
Because look at Michael Phelps. I mean, he did all the records, all that stuff.
Yeah.
We don't hear from him now.
No, I know. I agree with you. Yeah. Bolt's like a god in Jamaica.
Exactly. Who do you think's more popular, Bolt or the Jamaican bobsled team?
Ooh, I don't know, man.
Huh?
That's pretty tough. I wonder where those guys are today. I'm sure they're all alive. They were young.
Oh, yeah, they were young.
Yeah, that's it. You did that movie, right?
Yeah.
You did Cool Runnings with John Candy, and yes. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Great movie.
It's a feel-good movie, too.
Yes, very good.
It's a feel-good,
John Candy,
Jamaican. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and it's crazy, too, is a lot of these, I was just watching something the other day, and she was a gymnast. She retired at 16 because that's when a lot of these kids, they start so young.
I know.
The ice skaters, they're 15, 16,
Yeah.
I was going to say, you missed out. We did I, Tonya. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
With Tonya Harding.
Yeah, Tonya Harding, yeah. That was kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. But then that I, Tonya, does it talk more about her? Does it talk about the skating? Because she was a hell of a skater.
It talks about both the skating and it also does talk about her upbringing because it's
right.
They show her as a little kid, as a little girl, because again,
Right.
a lot of times you see these athletes start when they're 6, 7 years old.
No, they do. I know. It's all great and good. Well, you saw him in the show. Remember when he had a little break? He says, "I don't want to think about the running right now." He says, "I want to go and enjoy myself," and I don't blame him. It turns into a job. I mean,
Yeah.
and
I know. I agree.
Yeah. We don't think about it. These baseball players, we go home, most of them have families, they're married, So they lost that night. Whatever. I'm going home to see my kids, We always forget that. We always think they're robots, these people, but they're not. I mean, same way.
I dug into a little too about his personal life because I was like, how old? I knew he was kind of like my age.
Right.
I don't know if he's married, but he does have. It says in May 2020, Bolt's longtime girlfriend Cassie Bennett gave birth to their first child, his first daughter, Olympia Lightning Bolt. And then they welcomed. She had twin boys. Like a year later, Thunder and St. Leo, in June.
Oh wow!
And he's also a Green Bay Packer fan.
There you go.
He said he
Hussein?
Yeah, he was like he would try out, but if not for the concussions and stuff like that. Can you imagine if we had him?
Oh my God!
Be over, huh?
You ain't catching him, man.
Just go long, right?
And he's a good athlete too, so he'd probably catch the ball.
Oh yeah. He's tall.
In the NFL too, you had Willie Gault that played for the Bears, the Super Bowl Bears. He was a sprinter. You had Johnny Lamb Jones played for the Jets a long time ago. He was in the Olympics. So, but most of the time they don't pan out because they can't catch. So,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
I don't. We're thinking, catch a football. It's easy. It's not as easy.
No, it's a little more than that.
But imagine him playing football though.
You see a lot of the guys that they have like record breaking 40-yard dashes.
Yes. Yeah.
But then you don't really hear much after that. You just fast. I mean, you kind of do, but you know what I mean. They're not.
You're right.
Big name guys. He had a good run. Great, but at the same time is.
Well, what are the fastest guys in the league do? 4.3s, 4.2s in the 40?
4.2, I think. Yeah, 4.2, 4.
Yeah,
whatever.
where are they after that? That's the point I'm making. They'd stay with him for the first 40, but after that, he's gone.
That's it.
You ain't catching him, man. You ain't catching him.
Yep.
Just to go through, I got to give a few people kudos in there because there's a lot of people in this show. Just a few things. Safa Powell, one of his teammates, he is a retired Jamaican sprinter who specialized in the 100 meters. He set the 100 meters world record twice between June 2005 and May 2008 with times of 9.77 and 9.74 seconds. And then Johan Blake is the second fastest man in both 100 and 200 meters. Together with Tyson Gay, he is the joint second fastest man over 100 meters with a personal best of 9.69 seconds, which he ran on. You saw it. He ran on the 23rd of August, 2012. Only Usain Bolt has run faster. So there's been those guys are pretty. I remember Maurice. I remember the Blakes. I remember Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson was phenomenal too. I remember. I don't know if you remember. He's an American retired sprinter who won 4 Olympic gold medals and 8 World Championship gold medals in the span of his career. He held the world and Olympic records in 200 meter and 400 meter, as well as the world record in the indoor 400 meters. So the people he had on the show, Serena Williams, of course, is on there. Phenomenal. So Pele, I don't know if you remember Pele. You might remember the name.
I remember the name, but
a
lot of these. I don't really know too much about these Olympics. So
I know, but he was phenomenal soccer player, and he was also a personality. And that's the key. He was a personality too. He ended up dying he just died in 2022. So but a hell of a player though. But you know who he was on TV? He was like a Muhammad Ali,
really,
Thomas Seaver, things like that. But Pele was. Of course, Iggy Marley's in it. That's his son. He talked a little bit in there.
I've been meaning to watch that movie about him.
I know.
Haven't had a chance to.
We want to see it too.
I see advertisements for it all the time, but I just haven't watched it.
Yeah. And you see his manager in there, Ricky Sims. He seemed like a pretty cool guy. He was with him the whole time.
Yeah.
So he's the one that sets up everything for him.
Yep.
And, but it's pretty wild. I mean, you don't realize how many people are involved, in the whole process.
Oh, I know.
I like.
Yeah, whole team.
Hey, how about when Glenn Mills says to him? He says the heavyset guy is trained. He goes, "Yeah, you fat. You gotta lose some fat." He's like the washboard. You gotta lose some weight. Oh my God, it's funny. But yeah, it was. But like I said, I like some of the background they show when he was younger and all that stuff. They tried to show a little bit of it, and I guess that's all they have.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean,
I'm trying to think what else. Yeah.
Let me see here now.
It's crazy with the steroid use when they were talking about it. How athletes would still kind of, I don't know. I guess.
Yeah.
You try to like border on lines of like what you can get away with or what you can't get away with. They're going to test for this type of stuff.
You're exactly right.
And
you saw in the movie Gatlin, the American guy, that raced against him a lot. He was a big chattermouth. He was a big talker. He tried to psych him out. Didn't work though. But and he was a little disappointed. I guess they said some stuff about him because remember the scenario where he was hurt, but he got to make the Olympics anyways, whatever, something like that. Mm-hmm. And they said, well, how's that fair? And I kind of understood it a little bit, but he's Usain Bolt. Guess what? He's the show. That's what people are coming to see.
People
I hate to say that, but I know it's Olympics, but he's
imagine seeing that live, just like watching, not even on like TV, but just in person, just watching, history in the making. And you don't really get to see too many moments like that where it's big sporting event where you see like something never done before. I know Casey's went and she's seen a perfect game once in the Yankee Stadium. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think with David Cohen.
David Cohen.
Yeah.
She was at that game? Really?
It was like Beanie Baby night or something like that.
Yeah, and he was a Yankee when he did it. He was an ex-Met.
Yeah.
But wow, that's wild.
But again, you don't get too many moments where you see that, you witness that history in the making. So
you do not. No. Let's see here.
I thought it was really cool to see on the sidelines with the way they get the camera on like a track, and you see how they. I don't understand how they can. I mean, obviously they have all the technology, but like there, some points where they look so close finishing the finishing line. I mean, they do it like with horse racing and all that stuff.
It is.
It's crazy.
You're right. It is crazy. It's insane. Mm-hmm. I know. But like I said, the whole process with him and all these years that he raced, we're looking at, remember, it starts at 2008. I know it's 2016 he filmed it, but he's shown from 2008 or 2005 all the way up to 2016. And all the scenarios he went through, hamstring and the ankle and doing this and doing that, not feeling well. And, and you're in your room most of the time by yourself. It's crazy. It's got to be nuts.
Crazy.
Imagine that waiting another 4 years. Every year for the next Olympics.
A lot can happen in 4 years.
Yeah, you're getting older. Your body's getting older. Yeah, there's a lot to it. And then to do it every single time, right? He won every one he was in. Yeah. Basically, he lost those two, but that was not. I think they were just qualifiers. But but that was it's just amazing. I didn't know how much went into it. I know a lot went into it, but I guess that's what it takes to be a champion like that. And you got to have the ability, like you said, too.
Yeah. But
he's like a freak, though. He's like a freak. I think that's why he got hurt as much as he did. He's so big.
Probably. Yeah.
Most of those sprinters, watch it this year. He's not in it. Watch the sprinters. They're all going to be like 6 feet tall. That's all they are. They're all muscular and everything.
That's wild. Yeah, I know.
But him, he turns it on, man. I thought that one race they were showing he didn't have a prayer. He came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And let's face it, Frankie, most of those races, he blew those people away.
Yeah.
If he's winning by, say, I'm just using an example. If he's winning by 3-4 bodies, I mean, he's destroying.
Yeah, it's no joke. I know.
Yeah. Now, I was looking at Benjamin Turner and Gabe Turner, and they kind of do a lot of that documentary stuff.
Oh, really?
The people that directed it, they do documentaries.
Yeah, I saw that too. They did a few other,
I actually saw one
documentaries.
I actually saw one I knew. I can't remember the name, but I actually knew the documentary, but I didn't see it. But Yeah, so they did a nice. I thought they did a nice job, but like I said, I guess they had to show a little bit of everything.
I found too. I dug a little. Says that he gets a lot of his wealth in endorsement deals. He's got with deals with Puma, Virgin Media, Nissan Motors, Visa, Gatorade, and I guess he's ranked 45th among the highest paid athletes in the world. With earnings with $23 million, I guess. So
I found out where his net worth was, and it was worth like 90 million. 90
mil?
Because he's got. Well, no, you're right on those parts.
Endorsements.
Yeah, those are endorsements, but 90 million because he has his own thing now. He does his own company or whatever he's got that does something he's invested in, and it does really well. And I guess he works a lot with the Jamaican children and a lot of programs for them. So he's an overall nice. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
And they love him in Jamaica. He's like a Muhammad Ali of that era. He really is.
I can imagine. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a very special person.
Yeah.
Now, you wouldn't know that. You just watch it on TV. He runs. He wins. You can kind of see it, but But you really don't know behind the scenes because we know behind the scenes could be weird.
Yeah. I know.
But in his case, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. It again, different.
Much. Yeah.
It was a documentary. It was different. Yeah. I'm trying to think I don't know if we want to do any other. I'm sure we can find a few other There's plenty of documentaries to do.
There always is. Yeah. I didn't even think of that. When you said that.
Yeah.
Doing documentary. I guess there's a Muhammad Ali one. It goes, I am Muhammad Ali. Now, I never saw it. I just saw it when I was doing these. Yeah. I'll take a look at it. I'll see if it's down the road. Maybe we'll throw it in there.
It's funny with documentaries I immediately thought of, which I've seen it like a bunch of times.
What's that?
But it's Pumping Iron.
Oh, yeah.
Pumping Iron is a great one, too, to watch.
Now, have you done it?
What? No. We haven't. No, we haven't done it.
No.
I've seen it before, but yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad to do. It really wouldn't. Yeah.
Because he's got a bunch of documentaries, but that's a good one because it's all about we haven't seen any kind of weightlifting type of thing. That's
no.
Well, that'd be a good one to see.
That might be maybe in September or something where we're not into Halloween yet. That would be cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you want to talk about? We'll get into like our rating and stuff.
You could start a review.
So it got a 7.1 on IMDb.
Remember, it is a documentary, so you gotta.
Yeah, it's hard to judge it on documentaries.
It is.
I'm gonna give it like a 7, just middle of the road. Not even middle of the road. It's kind of a little bit higher. It's a good documentary. Again, I had no clue about any of this.
No, I didn't. I know who he was, and I've seen him race and win, but I didn't know all the behind the scenes stuff. I didn't know
any of that. So it was a little long. You probably could. I mean, you could have even made it probably like an hour if you really did a lot of editing and stuff. Yeah, that's a lot of documentaries are an hour.
Well, a lot of the time a lot of the time is spent with the watching the races too. I mean, the preparation.
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are you going to go with?
7?
Yeah.
7? Yeah, I'm going to go the same with you. I thought it was pretty simple. I'm not going to change it much.
No.
I agree with it. Like I said, it could have been a little shorter. But that's your first. Is that your first? That's your first documentary movie, then, right? Yeah.
Yeah, for one of these that we've covered. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, sounds good. That was good. So we got one more movie coming up, and then we'll get into our summer series. Anything else you want to discuss or talk about?
Did you want to tell them the summer series, or you don't?
Yes. Well, I'll say it on
order, but.
Yeah, so we don't really know what I think we're going to do. I don't think I know what we're going to do. We're going to just start out with we'll record our first movie that we're going to do The Patriot, and that'll come out the week before 4th of July.
Okay.
I figure that's perfect. Yeah. That'll be right before.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do we got Independence Day.
Okay.
Jaws.
Yep.
Stand By Me and Grease.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
So
that's
think
a nice lineup.
That's a great lineup. I think also it's a little bit of everything. We got a little action, a little more action. Yeah. We got a little comedy. It got some serious,
different age groups there.
Different.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Stand By Me is a great movie. It's very underrated.
It is. I can watch it.
When you think it's just the 4 kids have that whole, and we'll talk more about it later. But it's 4 kids that have the whole movie.
They do,
and they're young kids too. They're young. 15, 16. They were like, I don't know, 11 at the time.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, we got a good lineup coming up, so that'll be our movies going forward for the month of July. So that'll be good.
All right.
Anything else?
That's it. You have a good Father's Day.
You as well, and everyone listening, have a good Father's Day, and that's the ball game.